There is a bigger dimension that man ought to have hope in Christ. And that hope is of a better standing with him, where we rule and reign with him in the world to come. Where there's no more pain nor sorrow, but rather the old things have gone away. Where we sit with him in glory, where we experience him. Now, it won't mean anything to you if you do not have fellowship with Christ on this earth. Because you'll be thinking, it is just how man will survive. Because it's a revelation that must come in your spirit. And it's not thrown at you. It is birthed in you. And you must draw that out to be able to see that the life that God has called me onto, it is way beyond what it is today. That I ought to live in a certain realm and rule with him. And then stay in his presence. Look, every hymn that we sing, I was looking at that the other day. Almost the last stanza of almost every Methodist hymn that you sing had to do with heaven. Now, listen to this. It says, when we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we have no less days to sing God's praise than when we first began. That's, you've counted 10,000 years. He said we have no less days to sing God's praise than when we began 10,000 years ago. That's eternity. And the question is, how are you saving towards that eternity? How are you preparing towards it? Is it a thing that engages your mind? You see, this generation we live in, eternity doesn't mean much. Because people usually, when you see someone who can just throw their life away, commit suicide, and do all the various things, and go to juju, and all the various things, and lie, kill, do all the things, you can tell that eternity does not count in the person's view. Because what makes you make a certain choice is what you are thinking hereafter. What you are thinking hereafter. That if the judge of all the earth is awaiting me behind the door, how I dance here, very important. How I run here is extremely important. Because the judge is on the other side. The judge is not here with me in this auditorium. He's over there on the other side. And that is where the issue lies. But there are many who don't think about eternity. So let me put it this way. If you find someone and you say that, supposing there is no eternity at all in this life, supposing there is no eternity, we die, we just go, that's it. Would you be excited or you have a regret? Do you get my question? Supposing there is no eternity, life is just what it is. You fall down, you go into the grave, that's the end of it. And the way you have led your life so far, some of you are 55 years, some of you are 60, some of you are 73, some of you are 12, some of you are 7. Maybe somebody is there a 6-year-old here? Maybe somebody is 7. And then they say, there's no eternity. There's no nothing to rise onto. You are not rising onto anything. Would you have regrets? Is there a thing you would have wished to have done differently? Is there a thing you would have wished that you had the chance to maybe do it differently? Or would you say that, oh, if there's no eternity, then if I die, so be it. But God deposited eternity in the heart of man, that every man knows and senses and knows that there's life beyond this life. So if someone were to tell you and say, oh, there's nothing tomorrow, you know that what he's saying is not true. Because there's a witness in your spirit all the time that make you aware that there's life beyond this life. I don't have to tell you. A pastor doesn't have to tell you. God deposited in each and everyone's heart. And that calls you to the place where you ought to make the choices that you need to make to save towards eternity. I want to end on this note and said, as we walk the face of the earth, Jesus will say to you that store your treasures in a place where there is no moth and where it can be eaten, where there are no thieves. How are we storing those treasures? How are you sending it home? Because that's your final place. That's where you will spend eternity. So you send nothing home because all you are concerned about is this life, the comfort of this life. At the end of the day, you would arrive to no welcome. Church, if we say that Christ is risen, it is our lives that must portray that I believe that Christ is risen. I believe that there is life after death. I believe because of the choices and things I'm making. That's what we live for. And by the grace of God, that's what we will die for. Because think about it, church. The apostles that brought the gospel. Think about it. If there is no life after death, all you have to do is to deny Christ. That's all you need to do. Nothing. And you live. But they gave their lives for nothing? No. For something. But today, each one of us get the same unique opportunities that comes by the decisions we make, either to keep our life or to lose it for Christ. Christ is risen, and there is life beyond death. And I want you to make a change. I want you and I to make a change that shows that we do honestly and sincerely believe